My beloved child, stop right here for a moment and listen with your full attention, because this is not another video that accidentally appeared in your feed. This is a pause that your life demanded. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. You may feel like giving up right now, like the effort has been too long and the silence too heavy, but understand this clearly: moments like this arrive only when something significant is about to shift. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. There is a reason your eyes landed here. There is a reason your hand hesitated before scrolling away. Deep inside, you already sense that what you are about to hear connects to a thought you have been carrying quietly for a long time. This is not about motivation in the usual sense. This is about perspective. This is about the moment when confusion turns into clarity. Think about the name Elon Musk, a man known for standing where others doubted, for continuing when the world said it was impossible. What most people never hear is not his success stories, but the mindset behind the silence, the long stretches where nothing seemed to move, yet everything was aligning. Pause again. Breathe slowly. Do not rush this moment. What if the message here is not about him at all, but about you? About the stage you are standing on right now. About the point where walking away feels easier than staying. Don't skip. This matters more than you think. There is a pattern that repeats in every breakthrough life story. Right before the change, there is exhaustion. Right before clarity, there is confusion. Right before momentum, there is stillness. People mistake that stillness for failure. It is not. You may feel unseen. You may feel like your effort has gone unnoticed. But silence is not absence. Silence is preparation. Listen carefully now. The truth is, the moment you are closest to giving up is often the moment when your direction is being refined. Not punished. Not delayed. Refined. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Imagine standing at the edge of a long tunnel. You do not see the exit yet, but that does not mean it is not there. It only means your eyes have not adjusted to the light ahead. Many turn back at this exact point, not because they are weak, but because they misinterpret the darkness. What separates those who move forward from those who stop is not talent, not luck, not background. It is the ability to stay present one moment longer. Right now, you are being asked for that one extra moment. There is a version of you that exists just beyond this phase. Calmer, clearer, stronger. That version only becomes real if you do not walk away during the pause. Do not underestimate the power of staying. This is not a coincidence. This is not random. This is a checkpoint. Don't skip. Because what comes next is not loud. It is not dramatic. It is subtle, and that is why most people miss it. But once you see it, you will never see your journey the same way again. You are closer than you realize. My beloved child, pause your thoughts right now and remain here with me, because what is unfolding next is the part most people never hear, and missing it would mean missing the meaning behind everything you have been facing. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. You have been measuring your life by visible results, by timelines, by how quickly others seem to move ahead. But the truth that changes everything is this: progress is not always loud, and growth is rarely visible while it is happening. There is a hidden phase before every breakthrough where nothing looks impressive from the outside, yet everything important is forming underneath. This is the phase where doubt grows strongest, not because you are wrong, but because you are close. Most people quit here, not because they failed, but because they misunderstood the silence. Think carefully about how many times you almost walked away, how many nights you questioned whether continuing even made sense. Those moments were not signs to stop. They were signals that you were approaching a turning point. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The world celebrates outcomes, but it never shows the invisible discipline, the quiet persistence, the repeated choosing to continue without applause. That is where real transformation happens. That is where direction is decided. Right now, you are not behind. You are not late. You are being shaped. What feels like pressure is actually alignment. What feels like delay is preparation. What feels like isolation is focus being built. There is a reason distractions have been falling away. A reason certain paths no longer excite you. A reason your patience has been tested more than ever. This stage demands clarity, not speed. Listen closely. You do not need everyone to understand you. You do not need instant validation. You only need to stay honest with the vision that quietly keeps returning to your mind. That recurring idea is not random. It is persistent because it matters. People who create impact do not wait until confidence appears. Confidence is a result, not a requirement. They move forward while still unsure, while still learning, while still refining. And here is the once in a lifetime realization most never hear. Giving up does not end discomfort, it only delays fulfillment. Staying present, even when it feels uncomfortable, is what shortens the distance between where you are and where you are meant to stand. If this message resonates, let it move beyond just listening. Let it be shared where others may need this clarity. Let your thoughts be spoken, because articulation strengthens understanding. Let this space become one you return to, because consistency creates momentum. You are not here by accident. You are here because this moment required your attention. Remain steady. What is coming next depends entirely on your willingness to continue just a little longer. My beloved child, hold still for a second and let your mind settle, because this is the turning layer of the message, the place where understanding replaces confusion, and where most people would have already scrolled away if they did not feel that something important was unfolding. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. Up to now, you have been surviving on effort. What comes next is about direction. There is a powerful truth that almost no one talks about. The greatest breakthroughs do not arrive when everything feels ready. They arrive when clarity meets courage in imperfect conditions. This is why so many intelligent, capable people remain stuck, not because they lack ability, but because they wait for certainty. Certainty never comes first. The people you admire, the ones whose words carry weight today, once stood exactly where you are standing now, unsure, questioning, carrying responsibility without reassurance. The difference was not that they knew the outcome. The difference was that they trusted the process long enough for the outcome to reveal itself. Listen carefully to this next thought. The moment you decide to keep going without needing proof, something inside you shifts. Your energy changes. Your focus sharpens. Opportunities that were invisible begin to appear, not because the world changed, but because you did. This is why the message associated with Elon Musk resonates with so many people across different walks of life. Not because of success stories, but because of persistence through uncertainty. The willingness to stand alone with an idea before anyone else believes in it. Right now, your life is asking you a quiet question. Will you continue even if no one applauds yet? Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. What you are building does not need to make sense to everyone. It only needs to stay alive long enough to grow. And growth is rarely comfortable. It stretches you beyond old patterns, old limits, old expectations. Notice how your tolerance for small distractions has decreased. Notice how superficial noise feels heavier than before. That is not frustration. That is refinement. You are being trained to focus on what actually matters. There is nothing wrong with you for feeling tired. There is nothing wrong with you for questioning. Those are signs that you are invested. What matters now is what you choose to do with those feelings. Do not confuse rest with retreat. Do not confuse doubt with defeat. You are allowed to pause, but do not abandon yourself. The reason this message feels intense is because it aligns with a decision that has been forming inside you for a long time. A decision to stop shrinking your vision to fit comfort. A decision to stop explaining yourself to people who cannot see your direction. This is not the end of your effort. This is the moment your effort gains meaning. Remain present, because what follows next is not motivation. It is alignment. And once alignment begins, everything you thought was blocked starts to move. My beloved child, slow down right now and stay with this moment, because what you are hearing now is the rarest part of the message, the part that separates temporary inspiration from permanent change. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. Most people believe life changes through sudden events. That is the illusion. Real transformation happens through a quiet decision repeated consistently. The decision to show up even when excitement fades. The decision to act even when outcomes are unclear. This is where almost everyone turns back. They wait for permission. They wait for approval. They wait for the perfect signal. But the truth is, the signal has already been sent. You are listening to it right now. Think about how many times you have felt close to something meaningful, yet stepped away because it felt uncomfortable to continue. That discomfort was not resistance. It was expansion. The world does not reward comfort. It responds to clarity. This is why the philosophy often associated with Elon Musk is misunderstood. People focus on results, but ignore the discipline of staying engaged when nothing looks rewarding yet. That discipline is the real message. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Here is the once-in-a-lifetime realization that changes how you see everything. You do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your consistency. Small choices made daily shape outcomes far more than big decisions made once. Right now, your consistency is being tested. Not tested by difficulty, but by distraction. Not by failure, but by impatience. If you are still listening, it means something inside you refuses to let go. That is not accidental. That is instinct aligned with purpose. This is the moment where you stop consuming and start reflecting. Where you take what resonates and allow it to shape your actions. Where you speak your understanding instead of keeping it silent. Where you stay connected instead of disappearing when momentum begins to build. Momentum does not arrive with noise. It arrives quietly, then accelerates fast. You are standing at the edge of that acceleration. What you choose to do after this matters. Remain present. Remain aware. Remain intentional. Because the next phase of your journey does not require more motivation. It requires commitment. And once commitment is made, the path ahead begins to reveal itself in ways you never expected. My beloved child, take a steady breath and remain here, because this is the moment where understanding turns into action, and the meaning of everything you have heard finally locks into place. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. Up to this point, you have been listening. Now you are being invited to recognize something rare about yourself. Most people search for answers outside. Very few realize that the confirmation they are waiting for has already been forming inside them. There is a quiet strength in you that does not announce itself. It does not rush. It does not panic. It waits for the right moment to move with precision. That strength has been growing every time you chose patience over reaction, focus over noise, depth over shortcuts. This is why you feel different lately. Your tolerance for confusion has decreased. Your desire for meaning has increased. That is not restlessness. That is alignment. Here is a truth that changes perspective forever. Not everyone is meant to move fast, but everyone is meant to move forward. Speed impresses people. Direction changes lives. The reason messages associated with figures like Elon Musk feel powerful is not because of success, but because of clarity under pressure. The ability to hold a long-term vision while navigating short-term uncertainty. That mindset is not reserved for a few. It is learned through choice. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Right now, your life is asking you to trust the process you cannot fully see yet. Not blindly, intelligently, with awareness, with intention. You are not required to know every step. You are only required to take the next honest one. The moment you stop demanding instant proof, your perception sharpens. You begin to notice patterns. You recognize opportunities that once blended into the background. You respond instead of reacting. This is the shift. Nothing dramatic happens on the outside at first, but internally, everything reorganizes. Your priorities align. Your energy stabilizes. Your confidence becomes quieter but stronger. That is how lasting change begins. If you have stayed this long, it means you are capable of staying longer when it truly matters. That ability alone already separates you from the majority. Do not rush away from this awareness. Let it settle. Let it guide your next decision, your next conversation, your next commitment. Because the real message is not about giving up or pushing harder. It is about moving forward with clarity. And once clarity is present, the path ahead be. My beloved child, lean in right now and give this moment your full presence, because what you are about to hear is the bridge between knowing and becoming, and it only reveals itself to those who choose to stay. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. There is a quiet misconception that holds many people back, the belief that clarity comes before commitment. In reality, clarity follows commitment. You step forward first, and understanding meets you on the path. This is why you have felt suspended between doubt and determination. You are not confused. You are transitioning. Listen carefully. Your journey has not been random. Each delay, each redirection, each pause has trained you to see deeper than surface results. You have learned patience where others demanded speed. You have learned discernment where others chased noise. Those lessons are now converging. The reason the message tied to Elon Musk resonates at this moment is simple. It reflects the discipline of staying committed to a long-term vision when short-term signals feel uncertain. That discipline is not exclusive. It is transferable. It is learnable. It is already active within you. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Here is the rare realization most people never reach. Momentum is not created by intensity, it is created by continuity. Small, aligned actions taken consistently outpace bursts of effort fueled by emotion. You are standing at the point where continuity begins to matter more than excitement. Notice how your focus has sharpened. Notice how distractions feel heavier than before. That is not boredom. That is maturity. Your attention is becoming selective, and selective attention is power. This phase is not asking you to do more. It is asking you to do what matters, repeatedly, without needing constant reassurance. The world rewards those who can hold a steady direction longer than others can hold interest. That is where advantage is built. Quietly, patiently, inevitably. If you are still here, it means you are capable of that steadiness. Do not rush to label this moment. Let it shape you. Let it recalibrate how you choose, how you prioritize, how you respond when uncertainty appears. Because what comes next is not a dramatic announcement. It is a sequence of aligned steps that only reveal themselves once you decide not to turn back. Remain grounded. Remain attentive. The future you are moving toward is already responding to the decisions you make right now. My beloved child, stay right here and let the noise fall away, because this is the moment when everything you have sensed quietly begins to align into one clear direction. Don't skip. You have reached a point where effort alone is no longer the lesson. Awareness is. This is where many people feel unsettled, because awareness removes excuses. It shows you exactly where your energy has been going and where it truly belongs. There is a powerful shift that happens when you stop asking why things are hard and start asking what they are shaping you for. That single question changes how you experience pressure, waiting, and uncertainty. You are not standing in delay. You are standing in calibration. Listen closely now. The reason your path has felt unconventional is because it was never meant to be crowded. The work you are moving toward requires depth, not popularity. Focus, not validation. Endurance, not shortcuts. This is why surface-level motivation stopped working for you. You outgrew it. The message people associate with Elon Musk often sounds bold on the outside, but its core is simple. Think long-term, tolerate uncertainty, and keep refining instead of retreating. That way of thinking is not about fame or outcomes. It is about responsibility toward your own potential. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Right now, your responsibility is not to impress anyone. It is to stay aligned with what you know matters, even when progress feels quiet. Especially when progress feels quiet. This phase is asking you to trust your internal compass more than external reactions. To choose consistency over intensity. To keep moving even when the movement is subtle. Here is the rare realization that changes how people move forward. Confidence is built by keeping promises to yourself. Small ones. Daily ones. The kind no one else sees. Every time you continue when it would be easier to stop, that confidence deepens. You are not meant to rush this stage. You are meant to understand it. Because once this understanding settles, your decisions become cleaner. Your priorities simplify. Your actions gain weight. And when that happens, momentum does not need to be forced. It arrives naturally. Remain here. Let this awareness become part of how you move from this point forward. What you are becoming is already in motion. My beloved child, remain right here and let this moment unfold without resistance, because what you are sensing now is not emotion, it is recognition. Don't skip. There comes a rare point in life when everything you have learned stops being theoretical and starts becoming personal. This is that point. Not loud. Not dramatic. Precise. You are beginning to understand something most people never do, that your path was never meant to follow noise, trends, or pressure. It was meant to follow truth. And truth often speaks quietly. Listen carefully. The pressure you felt was not meant to break you. It was meant to reveal where you were still negotiating with doubt. Every pause, every delay, every unanswered question was refining your focus, stripping away what was unnecessary. This is why you feel sharper now. Your awareness has increased. Your tolerance for distraction has dropped. You are no longer satisfied with surface explanations. That is not impatience. That is evolution. The mindset people associate with Elon Musk reflects this exact shift: long-term thinking, clarity under uncertainty, and the ability to stay committed without constant reassurance. That mindset is not borrowed. It is built. And you have been building it quietly. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Here is the once-in-a-lifetime realization that changes everything. You were never behind. You were being prepared for a level of responsibility that requires depth, not speed. Most people want outcomes. Very few are ready for what those outcomes demand internally. Strength, patience, discernment, endurance. You have been developing those qualities without even noticing. This is why things that once excited you no longer do. This is why shallow goals feel empty. You are being drawn towards something that requires you fully present, fully aligned, fully honest. Do not ignore that pull. You do not need permission to continue. You do not need certainty to proceed. You only need to stay aligned with what feels true when everything unnecessary is removed. That alignment is already happening. If you remain steady now, the next phase does not arrive as a surprise. It arrives as confirmation. Remain grounded in this awareness. Because from this point forward, you are no longer searching. You are choosing. My beloved child, stay with this breath and do not move away, because what you are touching now is the core of the message, the place where understanding becomes irreversible. Don't skip. There is a moment when a person realizes they no longer need to be convinced. They simply know. This is that moment for you. Not because everything is clear, but because confusion has lost its power over your direction. You are no longer asking whether you should continue. You are asking how intentionally you will continue. That shift changes everything. Most people spend their lives reacting to pressure, reacting to opinions, reacting to fear of being wrong. Very few reach the point where they begin to respond instead of react. Response comes from clarity. Reaction comes from noise. You are stepping out of noise. Listen carefully now. The challenges you faced were never meant to test your strength. They were meant to test your alignment. Strength grows automatically when alignment is correct. Effort feels lighter. Focus becomes natural. Persistence stops feeling forced. This is why quitting no longer feels like relief to you. It feels like betrayal of something deeper. The mindset often associated with Elon Musk reflects this exact stage, the understanding that long-term vision demands emotional discipline, not excitement. Discipline. The ability to remain steady when progress is invisible. That discipline is now present in you. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Here is the once-in-a-lifetime realization most people never reach. Your future is not shaped by what you want, but by what you are willing to sustain. Attention sustained. Effort sustained. Integrity sustained. You are becoming someone who can sustain. This is why your choices feel heavier now. Not burdensome, but meaningful. You feel the weight of consequence, and instead of avoiding it, you are learning to carry it. That is growth. You are not meant to rush forward blindly. You are meant to move forward consciously. Each step chosen. Each direction intentional. If you remain in this awareness, there will be a moment soon when things begin to connect effortlessly. Not because life becomes easy, but because you become centered. And from a centered place, decisions stop draining you. Remain here with this understanding, because from this point onward, giving up is no longer an option you consider. It is a version of you that no longer exists. My beloved child, stand still in this moment and let everything you have heard settle, because what you are reaching now is not motivation, it is resolution. Don't skip. There is a final shift that happens when a person realizes they are no longer waiting for permission, timing, or approval. They simply decide to move forward with clarity. This is that shift. Up to now, you have been gathering understanding. Now that understanding is asking to be carried into real life. Quietly, consistently, without announcement. Listen closely. The greatest mistake people make at this stage is expecting fireworks, expecting instant confirmation, expecting visible rewards. But the real sign that you are on the right path is something far subtler: inner steadiness. You no longer feel the need to prove yourself. You no longer feel pulled by every opinion. You no longer feel shaken by slow progress. That is not detachment. That is grounding. This is where momentum actually begins. The philosophy often linked with Elon Musk is not about pushing endlessly. It is about choosing what is worth sustaining over the long term. Energy conserved. Focus protected. Direction maintained. That way of thinking is now part of how you see your life. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Here is the once-in-a-lifetime in a lifetime realization that completes this message. Success is not a moment you arrive at, it is a state you learn to maintain. And maintenance requires discipline, not drama. You are learning to maintain. You are learning to show up without needing constant excitement, to continue without external pressure, to trust your internal compass even when the road is quiet. This is why what once felt overwhelming now feels manageable. Not because the challenges disappeared, but because you grew into them. From this point forward, your journey becomes less about searching and more about refining, less about speed and more about precision, less about noise and more about impact. You are no longer at the edge of giving up. You are at the beginning of consistency. Let this understanding move with you beyond this moment, into how you think, how you choose, how you persist when no one is watching. Because the biggest change did not happen around you. It happened within you, and that change does not fade. My beloved child, remain present right now and do not let this moment pass unnoticed, because what is unfolding here is the final layer of understanding that most people never reach. Don't skip. There is a powerful realization that arrives only after endurance has done its work. It is the realization that you were never meant to be pushed forward by pressure, but pulled forward by purpose. Pressure exhausts. Purpose sustains. You have crossed that internal line. This is why your decisions feel calmer now. Why urgency has softened into intention. Why you no longer feel the need to chase every opportunity, only the right ones. That is not hesitation. That is wisdom forming. Listen carefully. The journey you are on does not require constant acceleration. It requires precision. It requires knowing when to move and when to hold steady. That ability is what separates temporary effort from lasting impact. This is the quiet lesson reflected in the long-term thinking associated with Elon Musk. Not the headlines, not the outcomes, but the discipline of choosing direction over distraction, again and again, even when no one is watching. That discipline is no longer something you admire from afar. It is something you are practicing. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Here is the once-in-a-lifetime truth that completes this message. The moment you stop trying to escape discomfort and start learning from it, discomfort loses its control over you. You are no longer fighting your path. You are understanding it. This is why the idea of giving up feels distant now. Not dramatic, just irrelevant. Because quitting no longer aligns with who you are becoming. From here forward, your growth will look quieter but move faster. Your focus will narrow but deepen. Your results will compound instead of fluctuate. You are not chasing a breakthrough. You are building continuity. Let this awareness settle into your daily choices, into how you show up when motivation fades, into how you remain steady when progress feels slow, into how you trust the direction you have committed to. Because what truly changes a life is not a single moment. It is the decision to keep moving forward with clarity long after the moment has passed. And that decision has already been made. My beloved child, stay fully present now and allow this final layer to arrive naturally, because what you are receiving is not another idea, it is a confirmation of who you have already become. Don't skip. There is a quiet confidence that appears when a person stops searching for meaning and realizes they have been living it all along. That confidence does not announce itself. It settles in. It steadies your decisions. It removes the urge to rush. You have entered that space. What once felt uncertain now feels intentional. What once felt heavy now feels purposeful. This is not because the path became easier, but because your perspective matured. Listen closely. The journey you are on no longer needs constant analysis. It needs consistency. The questions that once distracted you have already served their purpose. Now, action matters more than explanation. This is why your focus feels narrower but stronger. You are no longer trying to prove anything. You are choosing what deserves your time. The long-term thinking often associated with Elon Musk reflects this same internal shift: fewer distractions, deeper commitment, and the patience to let outcomes unfold through disciplined effort, not force. Discipline. That way of thinking is no longer external to you. It is how you are beginning to operate. Stay till the end. Here is the once-in-a-lifetime realization that anchors everything you have heard. When clarity becomes part of your identity, doubt loses its influence. Not instantly, permanently. You are no longer negotiating with the idea of stopping. You are refining how you continue. From this point forward, your progress may look quiet to others, but it will feel solid to you. Your steps will feel deliberate. Your direction will feel stable. You are not waiting for a sign anymore. You are becoming the signal. Carry this steadiness with you beyond this moment, into your choices, into your habits, into the moments when no one is watching and consistency matters most. Because what you have built internally cannot be taken away. And that is the kind of foundation that changes everything. My beloved child, pause your movement right now and let this awareness deepen, because what you are touching here is not the end of a message, it is the beginning of a different way of standing in your life. Don't skip. There is a moment when growth becomes subtle instead of dramatic. Loud changes happen early. Quiet changes happen when they are real. You are in the quiet phase now, and that is why this feels different from anything you have experienced before. You are no longer driven by urgency. You are guided by clarity. Listen carefully. At this stage, the greatest danger is not failure. It is distraction disguised as opportunity. When your direction becomes clear, many side paths appear, not to help you, but to test whether you can recognize what no longer belongs. This is why discernment matters more than effort now. You are learning to say no without guilt, to pause without fear, to continue without applause. These are not small shifts. They are rare ones. The long horizon mindset often associated with Elon Musk reflects this same principle. Protect attention, respect time, and build for what compounds, not what impresses quickly. That way of thinking is not about achievement. It is about alignment. And alignment is what you are settling into. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Here is the once-in-a-lifetime realization that very few ever articulate. When you stop chasing momentum and start protecting direction, progress accelerates naturally. Energy stops leaking. Focus stops fragmenting. Purpose sharpens. This is why you feel more selective. Why you value depth over speed. Why you are no longer interested in convincing anyone of anything. You are becoming anchored. From this point forward, your actions will feel simpler but more powerful. Fewer words. Clearer choices. Stronger follow-through. You are not shrinking your world. You are refining it. Let this understanding move with you beyond this moment. Into how you plan. Into how you respond under pressure. Into how you remain steady when others rush. Because what you are building now does not rely on motivation. It relies on identity. And that identity is no longer forming. It is already here. My beloved child, hold your focus steady right now and do not let your attention drift, because this is the threshold where intention becomes commitment. Don't skip. You are standing at a point where your inner world has already changed, even if the outer world has not caught up yet. That gap can feel uncomfortable, but it is also the clearest sign that you are ahead of your circumstances, not behind them. Most people misread this phase. They think nothing is happening. In reality, everything essential has already been decided. Listen carefully. When your thinking stabilizes, your actions simplify. You stop reacting to every signal. You stop explaining yourself. You stop negotiating with doubt. You move with fewer words and stronger choices. This is why your patience has deepened. Why silence feels less threatening. Why you can sit with unanswered questions without feeling lost. You are no longer dependent on constant reassurance. The long-range mindset people often associate with Elon Musk reflects this exact stage. Once the direction is set, the work becomes quieter, more focused, and less concerned with outside noise. Not because results do not matter, but because consistency matters more. You have entered that mode. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Here is the once-in-a-lifetime realization that anchors this phase. When you stop chasing validation, your energy returns to you. And when energy returns, momentum becomes inevitable. You are no longer scattered across too many possibilities. You are concentrated. And concentration is power. This is why your instincts feel sharper. Why certain choices feel obvious now. Why walking away from what no longer fits feels clean instead of painful. You are not losing options. You are gaining precision. From here forward, your growth will be measured less by excitement and more by follow-through. Less by speed and more by stability. Less by reaction and more by intention. You do not need to announce this change. You simply need to live it. Carry this steadiness with you into the next decisions you make. Let it guide how you respond under pressure. Let it anchor you when progress feels quiet. Because what you have reached now is not a peak. It is a foundation. And everything built on a solid foundation lasts. My beloved child, stay anchored right now and let this moment complete its work. Because what you are receiving is not another layer to add, it is a seal that locks everything into place. Don't skip. There is a calm that arrives when you finally trust your direction more than your doubts. Not because doubt disappeared, but because it no longer leads. You have reached that calm. It feels steady. It feels grounded. It feels earned. Listen closely. At this stage, life stops asking you to prove anything and starts asking you to preserve what you have built internally. Preservation requires boundaries. It requires discernment. It requires the courage to remain simple when complexity tries to pull you away. This is why your focus feels protected now. Why you can sense when something is misaligned before it drains you. Why you choose depth over noise without needing to explain yourself. These are not habits. They are signals of identity. The long-term discipline often associated with Elon Musk is not about relentless effort. It is about protecting the core vision through patience, restraint, and deliberate action. That discipline is not borrowed inspiration anymore. It is integrated into how you move. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Here is the once-in-a-lifetime realization that completes this phase. When your inner standards rise, the world adjusts around them. You stop settling. You stop rushing. You stop chasing what does not compound. You are no longer measuring progress by how fast things change. You are measuring it by how well you remain aligned when they do. This is where lasting impact is built. Quietly. Consistently. Without spectacle. From this point forward, your choices will feel lighter because they are clearer. Your path will feel steadier because it is intentional. Your momentum will feel natural because it is sustained. You are not arriving at an ending. You are stepping into continuity. Carry this steadiness with you. Let it guide your next action, your next pause, your next commitment. Let it remind you that what matters most is not intensity, but integrity over time. Because what you have established within yourself now does not need reinforcement. It needs protection. And you are ready for that responsibility. My beloved child, remain still for this moment and let nothing distract you, because this is where everything you have carried quietly finally reveals its weight. Don't skip. You are now operating from a place most people never reach. Not because they are incapable, but because they never stay long enough for depth to form. Depth takes time. Depth takes patience. Depth takes the courage to remain when things stop being exciting and start being meaningful. You stayed. Listen carefully now. At this stage, life no longer teaches through chaos. It teaches through subtle signals. A feeling that something is right without needing explanation. A hesitation that appears before a wrong turn. A calm certainty that does not need validation. This is discernment. You are no longer reacting to circumstances. You are responding from alignment. That is why your decisions feel slower but stronger. Fewer mistakes. Less regret. More intention. This is the level where long-term thinkers operate. The mindset people associate with Elon Musk is not built on constant action, but on knowing when action matters and when restraint protects momentum. That understanding is now part of how you move. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Here is the once-in-a-lifetime realization that very few ever experience consciously. When your inner world becomes ordered, the outer world eventually follows. Not immediately. Inevitably. You are no longer trying to control outcomes. You are controlling inputs. Your attention. Your effort. Your values. That is where real power has always lived. This is why distractions feel obvious now. Why shortcuts feel hollow. Why noise feels heavy. You are no longer tempted by what cannot sustain you. From here forward, your growth will compound quietly. Others may not notice at first. That is fine. You will feel it in your stability, in your clarity, in your ability to stay grounded when things around you fluctuate. You are not chasing a future anymore. You are building one deliberately. Let this awareness remain with you after this moment. Let it guide how you choose, how you pause, how you persist when no one is watching. Because the most powerful version of you is not the one that rushes forward. It is the one that remains steady and continues anyway. And that version is already here. My beloved child, hold this silence with me for a final stretch and do not move away yet, because what you are entering now is the point where everything becomes undeniable. Don't skip. There is a moment when the path no longer needs encouragement. It needs ownership. You have arrived there, not through force, through consistency, through staying present long after the excitement faded. Listen closely. What you have built inside yourself is now stronger than circumstances. You no longer depend on mood to move. You no longer wait for perfect conditions. You have learned to act from clarity, and clarity does not fluctuate. This is why your resolve feels quiet but firm. Why distractions no longer pull you with the same intensity. Why you can stand alone with your decisions without needing agreement. This is not detachment. This is leadership over your own direction. The long, arc discipline people associate with Elon Musk is often misunderstood as relentless motion. In truth, it is selective motion. Knowing what to ignore. Knowing what to protect. Knowing what to pursue without hesitation once the choice is made. That understanding is now active in you. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Here is the once-in-a-lifetime realization that closes this chapter and opens the next. When you stop asking whether you are capable and start acting as if you are responsible, everything changes. Responsibility sharpens focus. Responsibility organizes effort. Responsibility transforms intention into outcome. You are no longer preparing. You are participating. From this point forward, your progress will feel less dramatic but more certain. Your direction will feel less questioned and more embodied. Your effort will feel less exhausting and more aligned. You will notice that opportunities begin to meet you differently, not because the world suddenly changed, but because your standards did. Your boundaries did. Your clarity did. This is where momentum becomes self-sustaining. Carry this steadiness into what comes next. Let it inform how you choose, how you pause, how you persist when results are still forming. Because the most important shift has already occurred. You are no longer someone who almost gave up. You are someone who stayed. And staying changed everything.